Hey guys, welcome to the 10 things I wish I knew when I first started playing Eve Frontier. So I've been playing for a couple of weeks and this game is right up my alley. Spaceships, survival, MMO, I love it. Only thing is, being an alpha game, it's got a lot of quirks that gave me quite a bit of headaches. So here's me hoping I can help you avoid them. So the first thing is the UI and the camera. On the bottom left, where that diamond is, it's kind of the access menu for some in-game features, like regional market, your character sheet, etc. I don't use them much. Next, I've put the inventory box, which you can access by hitting I. Next to that, the little panel is the ship status. At the very top is your shield bar. Right now we don't have any, so that's empty. And then it's the armor. Again, don't have any right now. Below that is the ship hull, or ship structure, so the HP of your ship. And the bar below that is the ship speed, so you can see how fast you're moving. In the middle you have your skill bar, where you trigger all the modules you've installed on the ship. Pretty straightforward. Hit it to activate and hit it again to disable. The panel to the right is your resource management for the ship. At the very top is a temperature gauge. If you're in the white, you're fine. If you're in the yellow, you're overheating. And if you're in the red, you're about to explode. The importance of this, aside from not exploding, is that if you're in the yellow or overheating, you can't do a inter-system jump. We'll get to that a bit more later. Below that on the left is your fuel gauge, showing you how much fuel you've got. Fuel is super important in this game, as I'm sure you'll find out. Next to that is the capacitor. This is kind of your energy meter or your mana bar. Every skill or module you activate will require energy, and it becomes extremely important in combat situations. Next to that, I've got the logs panel. You can get that by pressing L, and the box next to that is the chat window. By default, I think there's the system chat and the global corporation chat. That's that. Now hopefully you can find your way around a bit easier. Number 2, right clicking. So right clicking in this game doesn't do a lot, but it's super critical. So Eve Frontier has 3 camera modes. F1 for your immediate surroundings, kind of like reality. F2 for a tactical view of objects around you, mostly used for mining and combat. And F3 for system view of the star system you're in, mostly used for navigation and for discovery. The problem of F3 is that in order to figure out what is what in the system, you kind of have to do this zooming around and clicking on things. And it's not very smooth, it's very clunky. Right, so the way around it is by right clicking on the object, and they'll give you a nice list of what's in that clutter. This way you can figure out what's in the system and go where you want without the frustrating zoom feature. Number 3, self-destruct is good. So when you first start off, if your starting system doesn't have all the 3 ore types you need, you don't have to be stuck there. All you have to do is right click on your ship and go to the very bottom where it says self-destruct, and you'll be rewarded with some fireworks and get spawned in a new system. There is no penalty for doing this at all. At one point I did it about 7 times just to get to a system with proper resources. Number 4, static and dynamic objects. So within the star system you'll see a lot of different objects. Planets and moons and stars of course are static, they don't change. Neither does L point or stargates. However, other points of interest like enemy spawn or metal ore, common ore, these will actually move around once they're depleted. The 3 basic ore types will respawn in the same system. The others may not. Number 5, this is a common one, exceeding the cargo limit. So once you have set up your base and started building structures and producing components, sometimes you might run into the scenario where you shove too many resources into the building and the output exceeds your cargo limit. What happens is you'll try to pick it up and then it will refuse to give it to you because it won't fit on your ship. What you need to do here is close the window, right click on the building that is too full, and then select dismantle. What will happen is it will give you 2 cargo boxes in space. One will return you whatever material you spent building the structure. The other will contain the components you have created. Number 6, portable structures expire. So the first buildings you'll create, including the ones in your tutorial, they are considered portable structures. And if you inspect them, you'll see that there's an expiry timer. if you don't interact them within 3 days, they will actually disappear. So whenever you leave base for a while, make sure to put your valuables in permanent storage. Number 7, personal asset list. Space is pretty big and it can be hard to navigate. Say you just finished mining and now you want to return to where your base is, but when you open the system map, it can be a bit hard to find where that was. So the easiest thing to do here is if you press H, it will give you the personal asset list. And at the very top should be the structures that are closest to you. What you can do here is right click on the structure you want to go to and then select warp. This is the easiest way to get around without having to memorize exactly where your base is on that system map. Number 8, jumping while you're overheated. So if you find yourself chilling next to a star, enjoying the scenery, you may notice your temperature gauge is starting to ramp up. And once you get into the yellow zone, it won't let you jump out of the system. What you have to do now is to warp away from the sun to the far corner of the system to try and reduce your heat. So your ship temperature will always try to follow the number next to EXT. That could be external or exterior, not quite sure. While you're in the warp tunnel, you'll notice the exterior temperature is 0 and your ship temperature will drop quite rapidly. So being in warp mode will reduce your temperature, and being away from the sun will also give you a lower temperature. And once you've given it some time for the ship to cool off, you'll be able to jump out. Number 9, loot the dead guy. Not weird, I promise. So when you first start out, try to aim for a system that has a convoy remains or convoy debris object. Reason being, looting the convoy remains will give you a lot of salvage parts, and that can give you a lot of materials. But just as importantly, you'll see a lot of dead guys floating around. Mummified clones they're called. I would strongly encourage you to pick them up as well, as much as you can. Once you get access to the correct building, you'll be able to squeeze juice out of them to build your bigger ships. Hey, don't look at me, I don't make the rules. Number 10, getting to a station. A station or a keep usually sits on a star-gated route, and you'll need to get to one to buy components required to progress. To find stations near you, you gotta go up, click on the little cog in your map view, and look for a filter called station count. With that enabled, you'll see these red dots in your galaxy map showing you where the stations are. It could also be a good idea to start your base in a system connected by the routes, but that's totally up to you. In the next video, we'll go through a bit more advanced stuff like rifts, technocores, and trading. Hopefully you found this useful. Thanks for watching. See you in space.